they learned that the mystery man identified as Detrick McGowan.
I like that name.
Detrick. That should have been the name.
That should have been the name, yeah. I'm not doing Max anymore.
I guess you could say
now.
He pulled off Detrick.
Yeah, motherfucker. We're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up. Wanna give a motherfucker some...
What's up, everybody, and welcome to... Is that the way I normally start this?
Yeah. I'm just keeping it in like this.
All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 44 of the ScruffCast. I'm Dan.
And I'm John.
And today, we have another exciting podcast for you guys.
Ooh, I can feel the excitement.
I'm going to have to bring the excitement, because you're feeling a little down, John, aren't you?
Yeah.
That really just told the tale right there.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do it live on the podcast, but we did the roll up the rim. I lost again.
Yeah,
Really
I also lost, so it's a good thing we cut that out last week.
We're taking up your time.
Yeah,
I know you have like a limited commute, like you're driving to work and you've only got like 15 minutes, or you're walking to work.
You only got 13 minutes. 13 minutes here, 13 minutes there. Yeah,
we're just wasting the first few minutes.
Yeah,
with nothing.
with rolling up a rim. Oh, here's a. Oh man, I lost.
Well, that's even better than being like, we rolled it up and we lost. You guys missed it. Like, we're taking up more time.
We're taking more time telling them how we're not doing it anymore, but yet we still told them how we did it and lost.
Well, we said we weren't going to do it like live on the podcast. So
we'll still tell you about it. We're just not going to do it live.
Yeah. Hey, it's our podcast, it's our rules. You got a problem? ScruffCast@gmail.com.
That's right. Speaking of, someone may have had a problem with something, John.
Well, we're just going to jump right into it before the question and ponder.
Yep.
Okie dokie. All right. So we had someone write into us. Subject is opinion, but they didn't present an opinion. Great job on the last podcast. You guys had me actually laughing out loud. I love the mix of impromptu and funny articles. Because last week, listeners may remember we kind of rambled a little. I was talking about the shitty service I got.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
It's been a long week. I feel like that podcast was a month ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it was last week for me.
Anyways, the listener goes on to say, John, I heard Dan mention you had some indoor skydiving vouchers. Have you been? Can you tell us about your experience? How much would something like that cost? Or was it a well-thought-out gift you received? Look forward to the next episode. Your loyal listener.
So? How was it?
So I'm not going to lie. I don't know because I didn't go.
Oh.
Because was it a well-thought-out gift? It was. And I did have these vouchers, but they expired in 2017, and I never used them.
Oh boy, look at that! Honesty is the best policy, John.
Yeah. Well, I might just edit this part out. It'll be like,
no, you can't do that.
It was, and then I'll just edit in a great experience.
When I leave tonight, just totally change it.
Yeah. So, Dan put me on blast here on the last podcast, and I tried to.
I knew he didn't go, and I was just trying to bait him into it a little bit.
I'll probably get some nasty messages.
Because you know what, that actually does sound like fun. Like I would actually like to do that. You could have taken me. Was it voucher for 2?
No, I think it was just for 1, but you could watch me.
Yes, you could have paid.
You could watch my fat fly around.
We could have done ScruffCast from the sky. Well, from 3 feet off the ground. Yeah. With a wind turbine below us.
I'm coming in here live from the tarmac airport.
Yeah, well, they just...
well, we could still go. I just don't have the voucher anymore.
I guess.
Well, I do have the voucher, but it expired, so they won't.
You can try.
Redeem it.
I'd like to do one for skydiving, please. I did a motion of sliding the voucher over. Nobody could see it, obviously, because
I didn't even know that.
These are just our voices. You didn't even know that's what I was doing.
I didn't know that that's what the motion was. I thought
that's what it was.
I thought that was like a skydiving motion.
Me just pushing my hand forward?
Yeah, you're getting ready to fly. Tee him up and let him fly.
Let him fly.
All right. On to the question to ponder from last week. Last week's question, Dan. You want to read it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, if you had to change your name, what would your new name be, and why would you choose that name? John, you have one?
So, I like my name John. Listeners,
I don't.
To let you in on a secret. Oh, you son of a bitch. Listeners, I'm going to let you know a secret. My name's actually Jonathan. But I normally go by John. But my middle name, I think that's one I'd change. Now, my name could have been a lot worse, right? So I ended up with John, but, my dad wanted to give me these, like, funky Portuguese names. It's going to be, like, Onbert or something.
Onbert?
Yeah, something like that. Or Gilberto, or probably something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't. Gilberto I threw in there, but Onbert, that's a real name that I could have been stuck with. But
Don't worry, I was almost Connor. Oh, wouldn't you just want to punch me in the head?
Yeah, that's
my mom wanted Connor, and my dad wanted Shay. Aren't those both gay?
Ugh, those are bad names.
I know.
Those are bad names.
We don't know anybody with those names, right? That we're gonna insult right here on this. I don't think so.
Too bad. Yeah, I don't know. Even Connor McDavid doesn't save the name Connor. Ugh.
Well, he's also gay, so
yeah, he sucks. He's a good hockey player, but he seems like a jerk.
Seems like a douchey human.
But if he wants to be on the ScruffCast, like totally, I'm all for it.
Come on.
ScruffCast@gmail.com. So I think I would change my middle name, which my middle name is Arsenio. Which, yeah, no, I don't like that one. I changed it to something like a little more oomph, like Spartacus.
Jonathan Spartacus Cordero.
Yeah, way to put my last name on blast on the podcast.
Were we not doing that?
Well, we never have, I don't think.
Oh.
But if anybody bothered looking on our Twitter,
they would know.
They'd know because they'd see us in the description.
That's right.
Following us on Twitter @ScruffCast. So, yeah, Spartacus as middle name. I think would be
Jonathan Spartacus Cordero.
Yeah, I think that'd be powerful. You'd fear me. If you'd see that business card, it'd be made out of, like, metal. Tap it out. Poof.
Yeah, until they saw you.
Until they saw me, what?
No, that's it. Just until they saw you.
Me,
and then they wouldn't be scared anymore.
It'd be like a movie, right? They'd just see the card and like, oh, and then they'd pan up to me and then just like, hey, it's me. And they'd be like, oh. So that's what I'd go with. Now, if you're done making fun of me, what would your name be, Dan?
Okay, so this comes from when I was like really young. The Goofy movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that movie when I was a kid. I still do like that movie. But Goofy's son's name was Max.
Yeah.
And after watching that movie, I was furious with my parents that they didn't name me Max. To the point I was a kid, I was like, when I'm older, I'm changing my name to Max. So I would change my name to Max.
Reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons.
I'll stick with that.
Where Homer changed his name to Max Power.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he has this whole song. Max Power, he is the one with the power. Or something like that. I don't remember.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's like my brother. He just... So you know how kids just like make shit up? Right? Yeah. So, for whatever reason, he decided to start going by the name Todd. Like with his friends and stuff. Okay. So the teacher like wrote a letter home or something and was like, oh, like he put the name Todd on his paper or something because, okay, listen to the explanation my brother gave. Oh, I was going to write, because name starts with a T, right? Oh, I was going to write my name, but I ran out of room, so I just wrote the T too big so on the corner of the paper, so then I just wrote Todd. So when the teacher was like handing back to Simon, she's like, Todd, is there Todd here?
She didn't even know if there's a Todd in her class?
Maybe it was a substitute teacher. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm like, dude, you're so full of crap. Nobody believes that. Like, we were kids too. Like, why do kids think they're so smart?
Yeah, kids think they're so funny, funny and witty.
But
it's not funny.
But when you're a kid, you really believe it. You really believe oh yeah, they're totally gonna believe me, right? Like a kid will, they'll go to Toys R Us and get a toy, and it will have a fake gem in there or something, right? And they'll bring it to school and be like, look, I found a real diamond.
This thing's worth $7 million.
And other kids will be like, oh. And they'll tell their parents, or they'll tell you go over to a family friend, and they'll tell the family friend, look at this. And the adults will be like, oh wow. Oh.
I remember when I was
life, you're just thinking, why would I believe this, you stupid kid?
I know. When I was a kid, with when the Pokemon cards were out and stuff like that.
Yeah, there Pokemania.
There was the holographic Charizard card. And I remember telling my mom, I don't remember the exact amount I said, right? But she told me this afterwards. I was like, yeah, this card is worth whatever money. She's like, oh yeah, is that right? And in her head, she's like, that's dumbass. No, it's not worth that. It's worth $2, if anything. It's worth how much I paid for that little 3-pack of cards.
Yeah.
It's worth a third of that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Kids, they think they're so clever.
Yeah.
Then you get older and you realize, oh, I was just a dumbass.
Yeah.
And now we're dumbasses with a podcast. So, out of the articles for our loyal listeners, they probably reached work by now, and they're like, they didn't even get into the topics. All right.
Which isn't a big deal, because we have nothing good to offer up this week. That's not true.
That's not true.
We've got some submissions.
Yeah, we had a couple listeners reach out to us, not through the official ScruffCast channels, via email, scruffcast@gmail.com, or Twitter, @ScruffCast. They think they're VIPs, so they texted the articles to us directly. Whoa.
It was to you directly. I didn't get nothing.
It was to me directly, because I'm...
what do they think? You run this thing?
I'm what you would call the show runner.
Am I just like the little second fiddle over here?
No, you're the talent. You're like the Jeff O'Neill on my Sports Center.
All right, you're the Brian Hayes?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a very local... Not local, but very keyed in reference. I can just picture my mom listening. Who the hell is that? All right, onto the first article here.
Do you want to read theirs first? We should read theirs first, because I got a feeling we're not going to get to all this stuff. Because like I said, maybe. We're capping this thing. We're not going over 45 minutes today. That's that, man.
But Dan, I got to tell you, we're already at 10.
Well, this is exactly what I mean. We're not going to get to some of these articles. It's probably just going to be more yapping about nothing. So let's just do that, and we'll move some articles to next week.
All right.
There's one article. So let's get to theirs. We want to make sure we get theirs done.
All right. And there's one article in particular I want to get into, because I have a couple other questions we could talk about.
All right.
Do we want to start off with something a little more serious or something a little more poopy?
Let's go to the serious. We'll go poopy after.
All right. With a little bit of brevity. So this one came to us from a dear friend of the podcast. He's never been on the podcast, but he's written in a few times. And it comes from Detroit Free Press. Police, Michigan gay rights activists set fire to own home and fabricate a hate crime.
It's funny that you added in that colon before you said gay right activists. I don't know.
Dan, this is a serious podcast.
That was a butt joke, yeah.
A serious podcast. All right, so this kind of comes off the heels of the whole situation with the actor from Empire, faking this hate crime and everything.
Yeah, do we have to tell people about that before we get into the rest of the story?
No, the ScruffCast doesn't provide context.
Okay.
All right.
So hopefully everybody just knows about what happened.
Yep. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
When Nikki Jolie's Jackson home burned down in 2017, some believe the fire was a hate crime against a transgender gay rights activist who had fought for a local anti-discrimination ordinance. But now, instead of a victim, so 2 years later, the 54-year-old is accused of being the perpetrator. The Michigan case is gaining national attention as the American public draws parallels to the situation involving Jussie Smollett. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I'm not sure.
It is now. Where the supposed victim in a hate crime became the accused. Authorities concluded the attack on Smollett was a hoax. Real hate crimes are on the rise, Graham Cassano, associate professor of sociology at Oakland University, said Monday. But as these crimes increase and become publicized, it's not surprising to me that people would take the opportunity to use this to their advantage and fabricate hate crimes. Authorities are accusing Jolie, who was named Citizen of the Year by the Jackson Citizen Patriot last year, of setting fire to his own home and killing his pets.
Oh my God!
2 dogs and 3 cats.
Why wouldn't he get them out of the house?
To make it more believable, I guess.
Well, just leave the cats in there then. Take the dogs out.
He set fire to his own home, killing his pets, 2 dogs, and 3 cats.
Oh, what a jerk.
I know. And he's been charged with first-degree arson. A hearing has been set for March 8th in Jackson County Circuit Court. We determined it pretty quickly to be an arson, Elmer Hitt, Jackson's director of police and fire services, said Monday. I don't know if 2 years later is pretty quickly, but...
Yeah, I know.
We investigated over what was probably a year's time before the prosecutor ended up issuing charges. There's a little sub-headline here. Unexpected twists. Hitt said that initially, some in the community perceived the blaze to be a hate crime. Investigators considered that too, but ruled out the possibility as evidence pointing to Jolie came to light. Hitt declined to offer a motive for the house fire, but acknowledged that some people in Jackson were probably rattled, perhaps in a similar way to the Smollett case, by the police investigation's unexpected outcome and charge. In the higher-profile hate crime case that turned on its head last week, Smollett, a 36-year-old actor on the TV drama Empire, alleged to Chicago police he had been a victim. Smollett was arrested on charges that he set up the assault. Smollett, who is black and gay, said that masked men yelled racial slurs, attacked him, put a rope around his neck, and made references to MAGA, M-A-G-A, the acronym for President Donald Trump's campaign slogan, Make America Great Again. But Chicago police said their investigation found evidence that Smollett staged the crime, possibly to portray himself as a victim and boost his salary as an actor, and lied to police. Because I don't know why being a victim of a hate crime makes you worth more money, but...
Pity, I guess? I don't know.
Pity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Citizen of the Year is this next little subheadline here. Jolie, a transgender man, was touted as Jackson's 2018 Citizen of the Year by a local newspaper and described as an activist who endured slights and still re-energized a movement. He tried to, some quotes here, pass an ordinance in Jackson protecting people against discrimination because they are gay, because they are transgender, because they aren't as some say they should be. The newspaper's long profile described the Detroit native, someone who had been on his own since his adoptive parents ousted him at 15, been sexually assaulted, subject to, in quotes, insulting gender questions, and refused service in bars or restaurants. So this guy, he's endured a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Jolie, the article said, was born female, but prefers a masculine pronoun and has long been activist-minded, even if it was not always openly. It also mentioned the fire on August 10th, 2017, in which his home was burned down. In the profile, Jolie said he was really in shock for quite a while after the fire. He teared at the thought of his dogs who perished in the blaze and organized a weapons training course at a gun range to fight fear. A few months later, he was charged with setting the fire.
Oh, my God.
So this guy's just a scumbag.
Yeah.
Like, total scumbag. And he's like, oh, my God, I can't believe someone set fire to my home and my poor dogs. And
wait, that was me who killed my animals.
Yeah. What a jackass. In the Jolie case, police suspicion was based on a timeline of events, phone records, physical evidence, witness statements. Jolie had the means and opportunity to start the fire, according to a report published by MLive.com in October. The MLive article said security camera video showed Jolie filling a gas can before the fire. Gasoline was on his clothing. A witness smelled gas on him. Photographs seemed to be missing from the walls. And after the fire, Jolie received $50,000 in donations.
Oh, my God.
I guess in it he would get I guess would have tried to claim like house insurance too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just renting the house? I'd be so pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be furious. Jolie's attorney, Andrew Aboud, challenged the police conclusion. What they have is a coincidence, and a coincidence is not proof beyond reasonable doubt. Okay. MLive quoted Aboud saying, they are trying to convict on circumstantial evidence and theory when they have no direct evidence in the case. Still, Cassano said that when presumed victims of hate crimes are actually the perpetrators, it's terrible for social movements in general and terrible specifically for people facing real hate crimes. In 2018 alone, this is a long article. 2018 alone, civil rights advocacy group Human Rights Campaign tracked 26 deaths of transgender people in the U.S. as a result of violence. So far this year, group identified 1 death. Most recent stats from the FBI show 7,000 hate crimes, up 17% from the year before, yada, 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 yada. When someone comes along and fabricates a hate crime, it calls into question people who have really experienced these things. It's absolutely awful. It really, to my mind, is incomprehensible. An associate professor of political science at Kentucky State University has studied fake hate crimes and wrote about Jussie Smollett's case, saying it being alleged a hoax shouldn't surprise anybody. He didn't mention this Jolie case, the one about the fire set to the house, but made the case in an opinion piece for USA Today and a book, Hate Crime Hoax, How the Left is Selling a Fake Race War, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know, these people are just trying to cash in, too.
Yeah.
Right? So, the article's a little long-winded, but basically, this transgender man, gay rights activist, his house was burnt down, his cats were killed, his dogs were killed as part of the fire, and he received a flood of donations. And he's like, oh no, and set up this big pity party. Like, poor me, they did this because I'm a transgender person. They did this because I'm a gay rights activist. Yada, yada, yada. And it ended up just being fake.
Man.
Dude, that's outrageous.
I don't know why people do this stuff.
It's one thing to post on Twitter and be like, look at me, everybody send me some pity or whatever.
Yeah.
But burn down your house and kill your pets. And here's the thing. It said pictures were missing from the walls. So he's like, oh, I don't want to burn down these photos.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? He took down certain things. Like, I want to keep this. I want to keep that. Okay. Pictures and stuff, right? But the dogs and the cats he just left in there?
Yeah.
I can't get over this guy, man.
It's just dumb. Like,
some kind of evil.
Like, he could have been like, oh, I went to walk my dogs and came back and my house was on fire. Then you could save the dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, the cats would go unless you walk your cats. Maybe he's the kind of guy who walks his cats. I don't know.
He probably is.
Come on, Prissy.
It is kind of weird, though. Even like the guy from Empire 2, right? Jussie.
Yeah.
Which is that's a stupid spelling of the name Jesse.
Yeah.
But
did you see what he did? Got him.
That was good. I don't remember what I was saying now.
That's part of my jokes.
Yeah.
You're saying even the guy from Empire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's just like, I don't know. It's wild. I remember like when I first heard about that, the guy from Empire, I was like, oh, Jesus, that's terrible. You know?
Yeah,
like, that was my first thought. Like, oh,
absurd,
man, it's brutal.
right?
Like, and you start hearing the details. Oh, but they put a noose around his neck. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like,
it said they like poured
some intense like hate crime.
They like poured some chemical on him or something.
Bleach. I think it's bleach.
And he went on, I don't know, not Good Morning America, but like one of those shows or whatever. Yeah. And he's giving an interview, and he's like, was starting to like tear up a little. And he's like, I was just going to Subway at 12 o'clock at night because there was no food in my apartment. I was trying to get a sandwich. And like giving like way too many details where you're like, this is a little suspicious.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then these people, they just showed up out of nowhere and they put the news, and like you give them way too many details where you're like, And I went to Subway and they didn't have any of the cilantro left, so I was like, I don't really know if I want this sub. And before I know it, they burst it. Like, obviously I'm embellishing a little here, but
yeah, exactly.
But he's like tearing up, right? And he's like, you know what? If I told him, because right away from the beginning, people were like, I don't know about this, because it sounded a little fishy, right?
Yeah.
Not that these things don't happen. I don't know. This is like,
but yeah, like generally case. People don't lie about this stuff either, right? So.
Yeah, like this seems like a pretty extreme case, right?
Yeah.
But, people were skeptical, like right off the bat. And he's like, you know what? If I had said that, the perpetrators were like, it was like a Muslim man or a Mexican or a black man, people wouldn't be so skeptical, right? They're only skeptical because I said it's like some white, like, mega bros.
Yeah.
But then their skepticism ended up being totally valid because he made it all up.
Exactly, yeah. Then, he's still denying it, right? Like, he's still denying that he made it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But, I mean, come on. It's been, like, debunked by now. Like,
he's toast, man. This guy's toast. Yeah, he's toast.
And then it's one thing if he's like, oh, I did it because, I was tired of experiencing racism or something, blah, blah, blah. But it ended up coming to light that it was because he wasn't happy with his salary on the show.
Yeah, it actually had nothing to do with, like anything. Like,
yeah, so
it had nothing to do except for just like selfish benefit. That was it. Like,
exactly. And he was making like $65K an episode, which is like, not too
come on, dude.
I'm gonna be real with the listeners. We don't make $65K per episode of the ScruffCast.
No, we don't. No,
we'd like to change that.
We make like negative dollars per episode.
You would like, we actually have to pay to put on. If you'd like to change that, feel free to email us scruffcast@gmail.com with your sponsorship opportunities.
We'll set up a bank account. You can e-transfer us money.
Yeah, you got like ad copy. We'll probably read pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We have like tons of listeners.
There's lots. Yeah.
There's lots. Like I can't even count them on my fingers. There's quite a few.
There is.
We might even,
we need both our fingers counted.
Yeah, we might have to go past just one of our set of hands to count them. Yeah, it was absurd. But the Jussie Smollett thing was like more high profile. But the guy burned down his house. Like that's insane.
Yeah, it's just some kind of evil.
And then he collected donations, right? Put on the pity party.
Yeah.
If you can like burn your pets down in your house, like you're a psychopath.
Oh yeah, you're complete psychopath.
Eesh. Give me the creeps.
Yeah.
Jolie. What a weird name.
Jolie.
All right. Let's move on to some comedic relief. We had another listener. Also, texted directly to us. Didn't want to go through the official ScruffCast channel, scruffcast@gmail.com. An article about one of your favorite things in the world, Dan, the CFL.
There's nothing more than I love.
The Canadian.
I love more than a good game of CFL football.
The Canadian Football League, which for any listeners unfamiliar is like a worse version of the NFL, where they decide to get rid of one of the downs.
It's just the worst league in the world.
So it's 3 downs, and instead of winning the Super Bowl, they have like the Grey Cup. And a team, I can't even tell you.
And nobody cares about it. That's
but a couple years back, they won it and lifted the trophy up, and it literally broke in half.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, it's so pathetic. You don't even care to remember or know.
Exactly.
Anyways, this article comes from CFL.ca.
Oh.
Argos make social splash with Poop Johnson signing. The Toronto Argonauts made the splash of the day on Wednesday with the signing of international defensive tackle Corey Poop Johnson. The 26-year-old Johnson appeared in 25 games with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the last 2 seasons, was a productive player for the Blue Bombers, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about how tall he is or how much he weighs.
His nickname originates.
His nickname originates from his time in Kentucky, specifically his propensity for pooping while with the Wildcats, and is one he has embraced fully. What?
So he got his nickname for pooping, like all people do?
I guess. Like some people, like, they're like, I'm a transgender gay rights activist. They make that part of their identity. Some people are just like, I poop a lot, and they make that part of their identity. I mean,
you can call me Poop Johnson.
Poop Johnson. So there's a quote from him here. Somebody tweeted, I guess it's because I poop so much. I poop like 5 times a day, so it's hard to keep weight when you have so much going out. And then the quote's attributed to Poop Johnson. Twitter reaction was typically fantastic. So this sounds like this is reading like one of those like shitty ass BuzzFeed articles I find.
Yeah.
Right or stuff. But it's like from CFL.ca. Man, the ratings must be low in the CFL these days.
I don't even think there's ratings. It's just like 0 of
it's
whatever that
is. It's like a social experiment. It's not broadcast on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Toronto athlete power rankings updated.
Dude, you're not going to read all these tweets.
1,
Half of them are
Johnson.
pictures. Like
2, everybody else.
I got one of Stephen A. Smith here just doing like some sassy like face while holding the coffee. That's it. Like we're not going to explain these pictures to people. Poop Johnson. It's funny. His name's Poop. I think we can move on.
The news of Poop signing was even picked up by Stephen Colbert. It was featured on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Quote, quite the free agency pickup for the Argonauts. That was the whole...
That was it.
Yeah, that article was poopy, we'll say.
Yeah, I agree.
Well done, listener.
Well done.
All right, shall we move on to something related to Girl Scout cookies?
Sure.
Dan? All right. I'm vetting the articles by you because you're getting a little sassy with like, I don't want to read this article. There was one, our first episode back, you're like, we're not reading that. It's like, okay.
Really? I don't remember.
The listeners they got to hear the title and they're just like, I wonder what that one was. This comes from NBC4i.com. Why do they always have wacky ass names for these?
I don't know.
Websites. Girl Scout cookie buyer arrested in DEA drug bust. The man in a viral photo who spent more than $500 cash to buy 121 boxes of Girl Scout cookies so 2 Girl Scouts wouldn't have to stand in the rain has been arrested in a long-term federal drug investigation. The photo went viral quickly, garnering nearly 10,000 Facebook shares in 5 days with people praising the thoughtful gesture. WSPA set out to cover the act of kindness Tuesday, interviewing both the Scouts and the woman who took the photo. However, late in the afternoon, they learned that the mystery man identified as Detrick McGowan.
I like that name.
Detrick. That should have been the name.
That should have been the name, yeah. I'm not doing Max anymore. I'm doing Detrick now.
He pulled off Detrick. Oh, dude, there's been so many good puns recently. Detrick McGowan was arrested Tuesday morning by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA. He's accused of conspiracy to manufacture and distribute heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl. Oh, gee, this guy's hardcore. McGowan allegedly tried to import drugs from Mexico. According to the indictment, McGowan was charged with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute controlled substances, conspiracy to import controlled substances, conspiracy to commit bulk cash smuggling. That's a crime. Bulk cash smuggling.
Yeah, I don't know.
$1,004,665. Interstate travel and transportation, aid of drug trafficking business, possession with intent to distribute and distribution of heroin. Just a lot of shit here.
Yeah.
According to the local DEA, McGowan was taken into custody at his home in a rural part of Lawrence County, where cash other assets were seized. I wonder if the other assets included the cookies.
Took all 121 boxes of cookies.
We're taking these cookies.
There's only 120. Oh, I ate one already.
Well, if he's with all the drugs, he got the munchies. Resident agent Mike Rzybczynski of the DEA told 7 News reporter Chris... Okay, it's been like 44 episodes. Why do they give so many names in these articles?
I don't know.
Okay, like I'm getting tired of it.
Steve from ABC 75.
Everyone wants the little piece. If you want to be famous, be like us and start a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay? We're getting swarmed all the time. John, I loved your pun on the last podcast. Dan, I loved your answer to the question of ponder.
All the time. We're always getting them. We just don't read those ones.
So that's why we had a 4-month hiatus.
It's getting too much for us.
Couldn't even go out in public. Like listen to this sentence. Resident agent Mike Rzybczynski of the DEA told 7 News reporter Kirsten Glavin over the phone. Like, why do I care what the reporter's name is? Just give me the facts.
Yeah.
See, part of the ScruffCast is supposed to be to filter this junk out for you.
But we don't do that.
And instead I complain. I'm actually adding more junk into your life. Told the reporter over the phone McGowan's arrest as part of a long-term federal drug investigation began in September 2018 to span out of state. He faced a judge Tuesday afternoon, along with several others who were arrested in the observation. Were told to have a bond hearing on Friday. So, the man, right? You're like, look at this guy buying all the Girl Scout cookies.
Local hero.
Saving the Girl Scouts from, having to stand out in the rain.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it doesn't hurt, who doesn't want 120 boxes of cookies?
Yeah. Not Girl Guide cookies. They're not very good.
No. But
they should just go out there and start selling Chips Ahoy,
That's the thing. Like, so where did is it one company or it's got to be like a subsidiary owned by the Girl Scouts making these cookies?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, it's genius. They're like, oh, here, you guys are poor and underfunded. Why don't you sell cookies? We'll give you guys to sell. Oh, by the way, you have to buy all the boxes of cookies to sell them. Oh, we'll provide them for you because we own a subsidiary cookie company. Dude, that's actually genius.
So do you think this guy should get I think he should get time taken off.
Oh, reduced sentence?
Yeah.
If I'm this guy, I'm bringing the boxes of cookies with me to court. You're giving them out like Oprah, right? Like,
you get a box. You get a box. You know what? A lot of these people, these, bad guys, are also nice guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Pablo Escobar obviously did some heinous stuff.
Yeah.
But he used some of his money. I'm not going to say a lot because he had a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
And put it into the community around him. That's why the locals loved him.
Yeah, yeah.
But anybody higher up was oh no, this guy's doing a lot of crazy shit and killing people.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, he would help fund parks and schools and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do a lot of good to make up for all the bad they do, I guess. To try to make up for all the bad they do.
Yeah.
The trick. Oh my god.
The trick. You pulled off the trick.
It's still getting me going a little bit.
All right. Speaking of cookies. Actually, no, not speaking of cookies.
Yeah, there's nothing else about cookies here.
All right. Do we want to look at...
Let's do the bridge player.
Let's do the bridge player.
Yeah.
This comes from news.sky.
I've already decided this is it. This is the last one.
All right.
I've just decided that.
All right. Oh.
Hold on to your pants, folks. This is the last article.
It's the last one. It's the last one.
We'll move that other one.
Yeah, it's the last article of the week. We'll be back next week.
Maybe.
If you want your article sent in so we can roast them like we did to our listener, especially the one who sent the Poop Johnson one in, email us scruffcast@gmail.com. All right. This one comes from news.sky.com. Ger Helgemo, sounds like a made-up name, World's #1 bridge player banned for doping. Bridge players are...
hold on. Hey, I was about to say, explain to anybody what bridge is if they don't know what bridge is.
That's true, because
it's not a sport. It's a card game.
Most people who know bridge are old, and old people don't know how to use technology, so they can't be listening to ScruffCast.
So bridge is it's a card game. Like Go Fish, you know?
Yeah.
A little more intense, but it's a card game.
Is it the one where there's the board and you move the little peg, or is that crib?
I don't know. I have no idea.
We're too young to know this stuff.
Yeah.
We're too young and hip. Anyways, Gare Helgamo, world's #1 bridge player, banned for doping. Bridge players are subject to the same anti-doping rules as other Olympic sports. Whoa. They play bridge in the Olympics?
No.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna
maybe they're just held to the same standards by their little bridge league.
We're gonna find out. Norwegian Geir Helgamo was handed a 1-year ban after testing positive for synthetic testosterone and a female fertility drug at a competition last year. He will not be able to compete in events until November 2020 and has also had all titles, medals, and points from the 2018 World Bridge Series event revoked. You win medals for bridge?
I guess so. This is like a big league. It's a big deal.
The World Bridge Federation is recognized by the International Olympic Committee and must follow World Anti-Doping Agency WADA rules. Bridge is a card game which usually involves 4 players sat around a table. Helgamo, who represents Monaco in bridge events, accepted he had breached anti-doping rules. The president of the Norwegian Bridge Federation, Kari Ann Opsahl, there they go again, giving us all these names, said the drugs were not performance-enhancing. What sort of drugs are performance-enhancing for card games?
Okay, keep going. This is nonsense.
In a statement on the Federation's website, she said, Geir Helgamo has previously played for the Norwegian national team and is our biggest star. Many within the bridge community know Geir and respect him. It is his responsibility not to take substances that are on the doping list, even though in this instance they are not performance-enhancing in bridge. I feel for Geir in this situation and hope he will come back stronger after November 20, 2019, when his ban ends. In 2015, the Daily Telegraph reported that 3.6% of bridge players were caught with prohibited substances in their body, along with 1.1% of billiards players, and 10.6% of anglers, like fishers.
Yeah. Those ones make a little more sense. They're somewhat physically demanding.
You're actually moving.
Yeah.
Right? Like, bridge, you're just sitting there.
You know what's next up for this guy? He's gonna do a hate crime hoax on himself.
Yeah.
You know, to gain some sympathy back.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, everybody hates the Norwegians.
I just can't believe there's they have anti-doping rules in a card game.
So, how often are they getting tested? How did this guy get busted? Oh, time for your monthly check. Oh.
Maybe just random? I don't know.
Oh. Maybe he won too many tournaments in a row, and they're like, something smells a little fishy about this guy. We caught him.
I think he's too physically strong.
He was celebrating by flipping the tables over his opponents. He's getting all pumped up, and they're like, "Geez, Geir Helgamo, take it easy."
Someone's got to check him out, test him.
So, this just doesn't even make sense. There's doping rules in bridge. I don't know the rules of bridge, but it's just a card game. Right, you're literally laying down cards.
Yeah.
And he got banned, so his medals and stuff got revoked. This is some Lance Armstrong type stuff right here.
I know, but at least that made sense.
Damn. At least Lance Armstrong could play the, come on, I've only got one testicle card. You know?
I know, yeah.
Right? The Gary Helgamo, he's like,
I'm living the life.
I'm living the life.
He's the #1 bridge player in the world.
Oh, this guy, he's out there. He's pimping. He's the guy in the bridge community.
Yeah.
In the senior centers, they're swooning over him. Right? He probably makes a killing just making appearances.
Yeah.
Right, at the senior centers. The ladies, their canes are falling over. Oh, Gary Helgamo. The international bridge community's bad boy. Norwegian bad boy.
Norwegian bad boy.
They have his picture here, too, and he just looks like this friggin'
He just looks like a clown.
Nerdy guy. He's got the haircut from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Right?
He does, too.
He's just got that face of I know something you don't know, and it's that
I'm doping.
So this led me to a question I had for you, Dan, and I would be curious what the listeners thought about this one. So, for doping rules, right, or for a game or sport or whatever to have doping rules, it needs to be obviously like some sort of performance enhancing substance, right?
Yeah.
Which leads me to ask the question, like, how competitive are these games? Like, what constitutes a sport? Like, would you say bridge is a sport?
No.
I wouldn't either. But what's the difference between a sport and a game? Like what constitutes a sport? Like, is bowling a sport?
I don't know. Like, I think, like, especially, like, the doping stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think anything where if you're physically stronger, it makes a difference in your sport.
What
like, bowling, maybe. Bowling's kind of more technique, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, if being physically stronger in bowling, maybe if you're, like, I don't know, your endurance is higher, then maybe it'll benefit you, but...
I'm getting too tired. I've bowled too many games.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Well, what if it was, like, the drugs increase your reaction time? You can slam the cards down faster. Whoosh.
Yeah. I don't know.
You'd be like professional Uno player. You're doping. Uno! Like, so bowling, what about, like, darts?
Oh, yeah, darts is a sport.
Darts is a sport.
Have you watched the darts on TV?
I have, dude.
That is
darts
a bucket
seems like
list.
a fun time. Like,
That's a bucket list for me, is going to one of those. Like,
I saw a greatest hits compilation on YouTube of, like, crazy darts moments, and it was, like, for the crowd. So, like, this guy's walking out, and they're like, introducing the baker, or whatever his name was.
He's got, like, two girls, like, half naked that like walk him to the stage,
and he's literally handing out saran wrapped muffins to the crowd. And he's got, like, the chef hat on. I swear to God, I should find this and tweet it.
It's an event, like,
right.
Yeah.
And, like, one guy's walking out and he's got, like, the stormtrooper helmet, and they're playing the Star Wars theme, like, and they're just going rowdy in the crowd. They're just loving it. They're holding up their little signs. It's like, way to go, Jared.
There's, like,
Dartman.
15,000 people in that stadium. They're all drunk.
Yeah. It
looks like a good time. Yeah.
So
180.
Are there doping rules in darts?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
There must be.
There must be.
All right. What about like esports, like competitive video games? Is that a sport?
I don't think so.
But it has sport right in the title.
Well, that's because they made it up.
I guess.
Podcast sport. Just because I made that up doesn't mean podcasting is a sport.
You better not be doping, Dan. I'll kick you off my podcast. Our podcast. Yeah, but they've drawn, like, huge money in, like, esports.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they're, like, filling out stadiums, people playing, like, League of Legends. It's, like, huge in Korea. Right? Like, they'll show it on TV, and people are, like, swooning in the crowd, like, oh, that guy, he's the best. That was a shitty-ass example of swooning.
Yeah, well, it was really bad.
Well, my immediate thought in my mind was going to be, like, try to attempt a Korean accent, but I knew better. I knew better than that.
Are you sure? You don't want to give it a try?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, I got one for you. What about competitive eating? You know, like when you see, like, the hot dog, like world fastest hot dog eating competition. Yeah. Is that a sport?
Yes.
So, like, would doping rules affect that? Could you have, like, an appetite suppressant?
I don't know.
I wonder how stringent they are on the rules. Like, what if you had...
Just take a laxative.
That's what I was just thinking. So you can, like, shit it out.
You're just shitting as you're eating?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
What a mess.
But, dude, you can't put a price on glory.
True.
The world-renowned hot dog eating champion of the world.
Could you imagine doing one of those? I could eat 3, maybe.
Doesn't even seem like fun. Like, I know that, you know, we know some people who can pack it down.
Oh, do we?
Right? But like, the people who are, like, competitive eating, like, they're eating an absurd amount. They're not eating for pleasure.
No.
Right? It's just pure business. They're, like, dipping the hot dog with the bun in the water. It's gross.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Give me some. I need some condiments on there.
Yeah.
You know?
These guys aren't putting ketchup and onions and, you know,
they have
a little bit of horseradish on those hot dogs before they're eating them.
Yeah, they're not like prepping the meal.
No.
Right.
They're not.
They got no time for that.
They're not prepping themselves a nice lunch.
There's no time of their day for that. They're just eating. I think we're starting to lose it over here, Dan.
We have a good time.
If I was the listeners, I'd be jealous. I'd be like, I wish I was Jon and Dan. They're so cool with their podcast. All right, shall we move on to this week's question and ponder?
Yeah. No, we got to do the jabronis and heroes of the week.
Hero and jabroni of the week. All right. We usually start off with hero or jabroni?
Jabroni. We end off on a high note.
Jabroni of the week. I mean, all right, I'll let you go first, Dan.
It's Jolie.
See that?
Jolie the jabroni.
That was like too much of a slam dunk.
Well, you know what? He lit his dogs on fire. He deserves to just die, that guy. He should be lit on fire next.
That's pretty extreme.
Jabroni.
But
Poof.
I'll allow it.
Got no time for those people.
All right, so...
I don't mean those people by transgenders.
I mean those people who are lighting people on fire.
Yeah, lighting dogs on fire. You know what I mean? No time for those people.
All right. So the reason I had you go first, Dan, was because Jolie is a slam dunk jabroni of the week. Rarely do we have like a first ballot jabroni of the week.
He's won. Yeah.
Right? He definitely won. I let you go first so that I wouldn't choose Jolie. I'd let you choose him so then I could give my jabroni of the week to the CFL, just because it sucks.
CFL does suck. I'm so on board with you on that one. Yeah, it's not Poop Johnson who gets it. It's just the CFL in general.
No, I mean, everybody poops, right? You want to make a part of your identity, I guess.
Yeah, be my guest.
But specifically the CFL, just because it sucks, but also because, like, what's with these junky-ass articles? I don't go on NHL.com, and it's like a hockey Twitter was freaking out about the latest. No, I know. Just like, you know, a low-effort content crap.
CFL garbage.
As someone who produces high-quality content, like you guys are experiencing right now,
That's right.
I know it takes a lot of work. All right, hero of the week.
The hero of the week is the drug guy buying all those cookies.
Dietrich. You thought he was just all buying the cookies, but he was pulling off a Dietrich.
Yeah, he's my hero of the week.
I mean, come on, he helped.
He helped
the Girl Scouts from having to stand out in the rain. Like, what a hero!
Yeah,
right. My hero of the week. I'm gonna give it to. We didn't really have that many articles this week. I'm gonna give it to Gary Helgamo,
the bridge player.
The bridge player.
Trying to get one step ahead.
Because you know what? Some people may say it's unfair, but when you're at peak performance, you gotta push to the edge. Right? He's a real competitor. He was tired of just merely beating his opponents. He wanted to crush them into dust.
You should be his PR guy.
I should be if he has an opening. I mean, I'll be down. Yeah. Obviously, we have great marketing skills. We have literally millions of listeners. But
all right. Question to ponder, John.
Question to ponder for this week. Why is the ScruffCast so awesome? Question to ponder. If you could go back in time and take credit for one invention, which would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a good one. Which would it be? But you gotta wait till next week.
Okay.
All right, listeners. It's been another week of fun times.
Great times.
Right? You've been sitting back, relaxing, listening to us talk. Now it's time for you to take action.
That's right.
You're not allowed to listen to the ScruffCast next week if you don't get one friend to join in. And we'll know. We have the analytics. It spies through your microphones.
That's right.
We'll tell.
Hey, you know what? If you guys want us to do something else here, let us know,
Yeah.
Indicate, mate, what you want us to do.
Yeah, we need to know, like, what do you guys want?
Tell us, please.
We need some sort of indication. If you like the way the podcast is going, because we've put out the call a couple times. We are more than happy to spruce it up.
We put out the call that we take calls.
That as well.
Yeah. If you guys want to do that, if you guys want to get on this, maybe we weren't clear enough last time. Let us know in advance. Send us an email. Send us what you want to talk about something. You have something you want to say. Send us an email and we'll set it up.
Yeah, like these two people who sent us the articles. We could have easily had you call in. We didn't, but we could have. But send us an email, scruffcast@gmail.com. And we'll have our people talk to your people. We'll set it up.
Our people is the trick.
The trick.
The trick. All right. That's it. Yeah? We covered
I
everything?
really wish I had known that name before when we did our question and ponder.
Oh, my God. That was funny. All right.
All
Okay.
right.
That's the end of episode 44 of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
As I'm watching her go, all I'm thinking is, oh damn that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
If you want to be famous, be like us and start a podcast.